Oh, look at all the comments.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of FaB GaB. I am Joe Mayo with my Mean Mr. Mayo channel, and I'm here joined by my co-host, Matthew Street.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Joe. Nice to be here with you, my friend.
And it's good having you as always. And listen, folks, if you're not already subscribed to Matthew Street's YouTube channel, please do. He has a marvelous collection, and he's always getting new things and going to record stores. Now and then you went to a new record store.
Yeah, it's been a long time with all this COVID crap, but I'm branching out again. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a new video up where he shows you some stuff that he bought. So check that out.
I appreciate it, Joe. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you already, everybody, for popping in over here. I see a lot of people checking out the comment section and writing some greetings. Hello to everybody. Well, you know by now, I'm sure, that the next album we're up to, where we're going to rank the songs from our least favorite to most favorite, is the Help album by the Beatles, the UK version, like we've been doing, released on August the 6th of 1965. And I tell you, before we start, got some thoughts on it. And I want to hear yours after I
sure.
You know, Matt, as you probably know about me, I grew up, as you did too, on the American albums, the Capitol albums. So I always identify with this album. Yep. There you go. And I don't have the gatefold open to show you, but it's a nice design anyway. You know, it's got a nice picture of the Beatles on the back, and Matt.
Oh, I can't. Mine's in the shrink too.
He's in the shrink wrap disease. But you know, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Because look how cool this is. It had a gatefold. You know,
nice.
Gotta get the right direction. It's hard to remember there.
Yeah, great pictures.
All right. But the thing is, this is a soundtrack album, movie soundtrack album. Therefore, when I was a kid and I was growing up with this, you had the Beatles songs from the movie Help on it. But of course, you also had incidental music from the movie soundtrack, you know, and of course it was, you know, you have to skip over with the needle, because if you want to just hear the regular songs, right, you'd have to skip over. But it's funny how as years went on, I started getting accustomed with imports, and I started having you know, the UK version, the German version, which I think that's what you're showing back there.
Yeah,
right?
that's my German one back here, Joe. Yeah,
which I like that. I like that better even than the UK cover, because it seems like the Beatles are a little more pronounced, or the Help is anyway, on it.
Yeah, definitely a little more pronounced.
You know,
yeah,
they're about the same size, but the Help is anyway.
Yeah,
that word Help is, and you know, I got to tell you, folks, even though I eventually got sort of used to having the original UK side 2. For me, it's always, beside 2 of this album, the UK album has always been a mishmash, and those songs never seem to make sense to me, because I grew up with it. How do you feel about the albums, Matt?
You're speaking for me. Actually, I feel the exact same way. I do love the American soundtrack album, because like you said, it's a soundtrack, it's a movie soundtrack, and I don't mind those little passages in between the 7 Beatles songs, because it just, you feel like it reminds you of when you saw the movie, like any soundtrack does. When you hear that music and you hear the incidental music and the Beatles songs all together, it reminds you of that viewing experience when you saw Help on the screen or the big screen or whatever. So I'm with you. I love the UK album. There's a lot of great songs on it. And but yeah, mishmash. That's what I say about side 2. It just I'm used to a couple of those songs being on the US Rubber Soul. I'm used to a couple of others being over here.
Right.
So yeah, it just feels odd to me, but I won't say it's a bad album. I'll just say it's different.
No, well, of course, that the UK one, of course, is as the Beatles intended. But yet, because we grew up with having I've Just Seen a Face and It's Only Love on the Rubber Soul album, to me, it's still, even to all these decades of me getting acquainted, when accustomed to hearing it with the UK original, it just always sounds like these songs don't belong there in a weird way to me, you know? So I don't know why that is, but because I'm such a movie lover, I love movies anyway. I like soundtrack movies collection. So I'm all right with having this and playing this. It's my go-to a lot of times. If I want to hear Help, I actually put the CD of this on that came out of this US, and I enjoy the incidental music.
Yeah, no, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you. I love that.
So, how was it trying to rank these for you this time?
It, it wasn't too bad, actually. I have to say, I thought the last couple of albums, Hard Day's Night and Beatles for Sale, were a little tougher for me. This one, and I don't want to give anything too much away here, but I'll just say that it was pretty easy for me to figure out where everything was going to go. And I'm not putting all 7 Help songs at the top 7, and I'm not putting all the others down. I'm not doing that, folks.
Right.
But it pretty much fell into place by itself. I kind of knew where everything was going to go. And I don't know if you want to speak about what we think about this album overall yet. Should I say anything about that? Yeah, I just think a lot of people point to Rubber Soul as being the big transition album for the Beatles, the big album where they got, more complex and more, new sounds were emerging. I think it really started on this album. And, when you get, there's a lot of electric piano on this album. Of course, you got the string quartet on Yesterday. It just feels like this was the big transition period. They still were hanging on to their rocking early Beatles past, but they were now experimenting a little more experimentation on this album. Beatles taking on different roles, Paul doing some lead guitar and whatnot. So I really feel with the changes really started with Help, with the deeper lyrics, more introspective, more personal lyrics. And I don't know how you feel, but I feel this is when the big leap was starting to happen,
Yeah. I never really thought about it much, but as I'm preparing the songs, I started to notice that a lot myself, So anyway, let's see how we do here. I can tell you that side 1, I mean, I love side 1. I mean, as I say, that's an easy listen for me. If I just want to hear the songs from the movie, I'll put, side 1 on. If I just want the songs, I don't want the soundtrack music, music. All right. But I'm telling you, I'm looking at this list, boy, between Yesterday and Today in the U.S., and between even Beatles 6 and in a couple of cases, how many these were spread apart through so many different albums in the United States, right? So
absolutely,
it wasn't really. It's funny. I thought this was going to be an easier album than the others for me to do, and I was surprised that I had a heck of a tough time, especially after I put number 14. I didn't have too much of a time, but then as I'm looking for what's going to be 13 and 12,
right,
I didn't know what to do, but I did it. So,
we survived it, right?
Without further ado, I think that just to try things a little different, I'll start this time. I usually, let you or someone else who's here when Beatles Brad here start. I think I'll start it off.
Sure, absolutely.
I shouldn't do that because remember I said I get ideas from you. I mean, when people say, I could use that.
We think a lot. You and I have known each other a long time now, and we think a lot about these things. So
yeah.
I think you're going to do the same with me.
Let's find out. Oh, Oliver, we're going to start right out. I just had to put this here. Oliver says, I need you at number 14.
Ooh, Oliver, Oliver, I'm crying over here with that one.
No can do. All right. For me, number 14, it wasn't hard for me. This was the easiest one. It's Act Naturally. It's the Buck Owens song that Ringo sings, a token Ringo song. Again, should we say what we always say? I will. I like every song on this album. There's not a single song that I say, I don't like this one, so I'm putting it here. I like them all. But it's a cover. Doesn't matter. I mean, there's times when I put a cover song as number 1 in the past. I've done that.
Yeah.
So it's not just about the covers, but sometimes it figures in for me. It is a cover. They do it very well, country-ish and everything. And Ringo sings it well, and Paul backing him up. It's a fun song, and it came to be kind of true when he was talking about wanting to be in the movies. He actually was something of a movie star for a while.
Oh yeah.
Didn't necessarily win an Oscar. For like stuff like Blind Man or Andy or anything like that, but yeah. So yeah, a lot of fun. It's just my least favorite.
It's a good way to put it. Least favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, and let's continue the discussion here because Act Naturally is my number 14.
Right.
I had a feeling we might both have that one there, but again, I don't dislike any songs on this album. But I have to be honest. I mean, I'm not a big country western guy. I don't hate country western music, but I'm just not big on it. I mean, this is nice cover for Ringo. It really fits well for him. And but it's just never been a favorite of mine. I don't skip it. I listen to it when on the album. And I know the Beatles did it live a few times, I think during the 65 tour and maybe a little bit on 66 tour in the around the world. But no, you know, rockabilly country. I love rockabilly, but this one's a little too country for me. So I had to throw something at 14. It's Act Naturally.
Have you seen the video and heard the song, the version that Ringo does a duet with Buck Owens in later years?
Oh yes, I did hear the audio of that on the Beatles channel. I don't think I've seen the video yet though.
It's a fun video. I mean, you know, it's a nice version. I think I enjoy watching the video of the two of them clowning around a little more. It's a funny video. You know, I would rather, I think, watch that if I was going to engage in Act Naturally.
Yeah, right.
Although there's so many other times I've seen when Ringo performs it live, sometimes it's fun for him to do that. You know,
It's nothing to despise. It's a harmless little ditty, but it's out of these 14, it hit 14. That's it.
I notice a lot of people have Dizzy Miss Lizzie number 4, and you like it too much. Those seem to be the main. Well, and Act Naturally here and there. Or number 12 for Robert S.
Yeah.
All right. So there we go. That's one out of the way. 13 more to go.
We're 13 to one more.
So number 13. Now I really think this is gonna be upset a lot of people. I think.
Uh-oh.
Everybody thinks they know what I'm gonna say. I think maybe watch my channel, but it's not what you think. But I almost can't say it because people say, "Are you out of your mind?" I don't know.
Then it's not what I thought it was going to be because
no, I don't think
I thought it was going to be.
It's not a popular song. Let's put it that way. It is a Beatles song original, but it's one of their what I call rare fillers. Great filler, love it, enjoy it every time I hear it. But it's the weakest one here, one of the weakest ones, and I picked "Tell Me What You See."
Oh man,
I think I'm going to be the only one here that's putting "Tell Me What You See." This low. I like it. I really do. It's great, and the singing together and everything. You know, but if I'm going to try to be a little critical of songs I love, I mean, I don't know. They don't have much to say in it. It's the same kind of stuff. You know, tell me what you see, and they repeat it a couple of times or whatever. Listen to me one more time.
Right.
Through, can't you see that I'm trying, etc. I can't think of the words when I'm nervous and doing live. I know the words, trying to get to whatever it is, but it's the same thing over and over. It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Ooh. Oh,
Day Tripper.
Oh boy.
Hey, Day Tripper.
Oh, there's somebody make me feel a little better. We're not too far off, Joe. It's my number 12. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised that I did that. I had something else at number 12, and then I said I'll get into that in a little bit. Why I moved it to, number 13.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why I went to 12 instead when I get to it. Okay, Matthew, how about you?
Well, the reason I laughed out loud when you first said that, Joe, is because I also have "Tell Me What You See" at number 13. I'm not kidding.
If this doesn't show, we don't know each other.
I hope we don't have the whole 13 matching, and we may as well give it up.
I mean, we're right on the same page.
I'm telling you. Robert S. just said something about I'll assume that's temporary insanity. Then I guess we're both insane, Robert, because
where is that? I wanted to get that.
Yeah, I thought I just saw it. Yeah, we're both crazy then, I guess, because I had to put it here because I like it. It's a pleasant enough song. It's okay. I don't skip it, especially when it was on Beatles 6 when I was a kid. I would listen to it on that album all the time. I like the call and response vibe to it. It's a great little song. And here we're seeing some electric piano. Remember I said new sounds on the Help album, got the electric piano going there. It's an okay song, but it's just never been one that, like Joe said, if there is filler, I consider this filler. And definitely on this album, it's filler.
Yeah,
it's good filler, fun filler, but filler nonetheless.
You can't almost never can you use that word with a Beatles song, but there are some that they're just kind of like they're not as profound or as classic as other ones, and while they're still good and highly listenable and likable, it's just not the best stuff. So yeah, a lot of people here agree with us, which is kind of surprised me. We got Jazzy Jimmy says act naturally,
Act unnaturally.
and stuff like that.
Yeah,
All
it
right, tell
looks
me
like.
what you see would have been number 14 for me,
Oh,
Dave.
so see something. David's thinking the same way.
So there you go. And Dizzy Miss Lizzie isn't filler? Well, we'll find
Oh,
out.
we'll find out soon enough, Robert.
All right, so that's a good time to go to number 12. I picked
Sure,
Dizzy
sure.
Miss Lizzie for number 12, and I got a little bit to talk about with that. I always have loved Dizzy Miss Lizzie.
Yeah,
I mean, all these songs where John does real screamers and like Dizzy Miss Lizzie, Bad Boy, Slow Down, songs like that. I don't understand how people don't like them. I really don't. You know,
right.
and but what started to happen over recent times is I've started to notice that a lot of people do not like Dizzy Miss Lizzie very much. And what they always say is that guitar riff or whatnot is
Yeah, yeah.
like drilled into your head. And I never thought of that. I never saw it that way. But ever since I hear that all the time, since doing this channel for 9 years, you guys affected me. You guys
They got to you.
erupted the song for me. I never thought about it. Now, every time I hear the song, I'm thinking about that annoying guitar that's repetitive and monotonous. I never saw it that way, never heard it that way, never really viewed it that way. But I have to say, now I'm starting to come around and think, yeah, you might have something there. But I still love it. I don't, just for John's performance alone.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I love when they do it at Shea Stadium. That's always
That's a
an
great
odd
moment.
choice. I mean, something a little different to hear them do at that point. So I really like it, but apparently that's a popular dud when it comes to the Help album for so many people. What say you for your number 12, Matthew?
Well, this may pique a little bit of controversy. I have "You Like Me Too Much" in my number 12,
Mhm.
and I'm going to tell you why, folks. I love George. Okay, he will factor in on this ranking much later, but this is a good song. He's really emerging as a gifted songwriter with "You Like Me Too Much." It's a great pop song. I like the piano on it's great. The electric piano. We're going to see that a lot on this album. It's a great little song, but it just, to me, it's in that category with "Tell Me What You See." It's a great little pop song. I never skip it. I really loved it on Beatles 6, like I said, along with, "Tell Me What You See" when I was a little kid. Loved it, but it's just not a song that just leaps out at me as being a very, very strong George track, as one you're going to see much later. So, so that's my number 12. Tell me
Okay,
what
and
you see.
it's
I'm
understandable.
sorry, You Like Me Too Much.
I would say that I can't. So I need you ahead of "You Like Me Too Much." Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
you think, Oliver?
Yeah, you think? No, but it's not unusual. I think at the beginning you said something to the effect of, "Oh, maybe some people would wonder about this or not care for this," but I think a lot of people. That's another song that people put down a lot. It's overlooked to me, and I'll go in and say now that it's starting at number 11. It's my number 11, so I
Ah,
won't put that
okay.
in there.
Oh, so we're flowing right into it. Good.
You like me too much, but I do want to defend it. I think it's underrated. That doesn't
Yeah.
mean I think it's great or anything, but there's a lot of stuff in there to enjoy. I think it's not the most sophisticated song, but you do have a lot of that piano going on, organ, or whatnot. Introduction. It's funny. It's experimental for them a little bit, a little different than
Yeah,
what
yeah.
they've been doing. But it's almost some people would argue kind of thrown away on a so-so song.
Mm,
But, I don't know. I like the directions it goes in. It just in the middle part and stuff. I really do like it. I had to put something at number 11, but it's very common for people to put that kind of
yeah,
low. And
yeah. I've heard some covers of it also, and
oh,
people really do a bang up job with it when they cover it and add their own flavor to it. It's a nice melody, but like all the things you said.
Fountains Vinyl Shack had it at number 11. It's Only Love.
Really? Ooh, Oliver. Gee, it
So
seems like we're way off with Oliver today on this one.
David Jackson, Dizzy Miss Lizzy, for the reasons you said, Joe.
Mhm.
Here's a number 11. I Need You. Sorry, George. It's a good song.
Ooh, only sleeping.
All right. So
We'll
that was
get you later.
11 for me. What's 11 for you, Matt?
Well, now we kind of flipped a little bit. I've got Dizzy Miss Lizzy at number 11.
We're still in the same.
Yeah, it's we're close. We're starting to waver a little bit here. Yeah, it's a pure rock and roll frenzy. Let's be honest. John's vocal on this, he's screaming it. You got Beatles on Beatles 6. I liked it more. I think. I don't know if that makes sense. I keep saying that with some
works.
for
Yeah.
some reason on Beatles 6, I liked maybe because Bad Boy was on there also. That was another Larry Williams song. I don't know, but for some reason on Beatles 6, I like it. On this album, it sank a little bit. And so I had to find a place for it. So great rock and roll tune, great John performance, like you said, Joe, for all the reasons you said. It's a good song, but no, it's my number 11, and there it stays.
Well, again, it goes to what you said. Sometimes you think you liked it better on Beatles 6. Me too. Like I said, some of the songs just it seems like such sacrilege to just say they don't work on side 2. They just don't to me, but I fully admit that's because of what I grew up with.
Yeah, and especially because that's the Beatles, the way the Beatles wanted it, and but
yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, it's a bunch of stuff. But I always argue. I say, well, I'll get to this maybe a little later, but since I'll probably mention this very soon, as a matter of fact. So let me save it. I started something, but I'll get to it right now. How's that? Because we're down to the top 10.
We're in the top 10.
All right, top 10. I'll get into what I was saying there. It's Only Love. I started out, which I also love. But again, I'm used to that song on side 2, opening up the American Rubber Soul.
Mm-hmm.
And we had I've Just Seen a Face opening up side 1 of the American Rubber Soul. That's how I grew up with it.
Yep.
Always seemed those two were kind of just thrown onto the UK Help album to me. And John never liked the song "It's Only Love." He thought the lyrics were terrible. They're not the greatest lyrics. It's a pretty little song. I like it, but I understand why John didn't like it. But where I was going before I was saying how all right, I'm saying from my perspective, these songs don't really fit on Help, right? Well, how about the song "Wait" that wound up being on Rubber Soul? That was originally going to be part of the Help session. So there's one that did in fact get bumped, or wasn't used during Help that they recorded and went on to Rubber Soul and fits there well. So that's what I was going for before.
Yeah, and you're making. I'd have to agree with you there. I think Wait might have fit better on side 2 of this album and reversed them. I think that would have been leave It's Only Love on Rubber Soul, but I don't know.
Well, I
shouldn't say leave it on because it was supposed to be. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Put Wait on here and put It's Only Love. Hold that off until the British Rubber Soul. But
it's blasphemy to say it, but sometimes
I know.
But sometimes the Beatles didn't always have the best sequencing as it could have been. Great sequencing, but I don't know. I like some of the other sequencing from the US, but say no more. Okay, so number 10 for you, sir.
10 for me is, this may cause some controversy. I've Just Seen a Face is my number 10. It's okay, country-ish, bluegrass, great little bluegrass styled song. I love the little picking on the solo, the little guitar picking there. It's a knee slapper, a toe tapper. I like it. It's a great little song, but he did it on the 76 World Tour over America and the World Tour there, and I like it, but I just think it's number 10 for me. It's a nice little song, but I don't know much more to say about it. What do you? Are you shocked by my pick?
No, I'm not really. I'm just looking at some of the comments. And
yeah, go for it. I don't know what people think of that, but I think it's a good song. I never skip it. It's a great little Paul toe tapper, but number 10 for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking here at some of the comments night before. Number 10. We got a lot of 10 being kind of lower than I thought that would be. Night Before. Tell Me What You See from Doc Docus at number 10. Somebody, James Bell, put Yesterday pretty low earlier. Said because of fatigue.
Right.
Something I struggle with in ranking these things.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
while you going, oh yeah, I was just going to say, Only Sleeping. I agree, and I should have mentioned that. Like Joe mentioned about It's Only Love and how we're used to it on Rubber Soul. I just think I've Just Seen a Face being that acoustic based bluegrass toe tapper for me fit better on the U.S. Rubber Soul. So
Yeah. So that's another thing. Yeah. Well, it fits better there, but I'm thinking. Let me put it this way. We'll start number 9 now, and I'll explain. I just cheat. I don't know if this is cheating. I just switched to because I thought about it. It could happen. I went to I've Just Seen a Face for 9. I had it.
oh, okay, wow, okay,
I had it at eight. But I'm thinking, for the longest time, I've never was a big fan of I've Just Seen a Face. Maybe the way you described it. I mean, you don't hate it or anything, but you were saying about the bluegrass thing, a little maybe countryish, whatever.
and I just saw a comment from somebody, Sam St. John. I'm sorry, he says it's more country than bluegrass.
Right.
I don't know, Sam. Sam, you know more than me about that stuff.
I don't know.
I'm a dummy when it comes to these different genres, especially genres I don't listen to too much.
I definitely love that song opening up Rubber Soul. I think after being etched in my head for all those years, there's no better opener to Rubber Soul for me.
Yeah.
That's not why I'm putting it at 9 now. I just was thinking as I'm looking at these that, maybe these two could flip flop that I did. And what can I say? I've come to really like the song now, but when I was growing up, I wasn't really that fond of it. I think I've gained more of an appreciation for
Right.
Face. I think if I was doing this years and years ago, it would have been maybe in the lower 4.
Oh, okay. Wow.
To go into the top 10 is pretty good for me.
Yeah.
So we got You're Gonna Lose That Girl, number 9. We got You Like Me Too Much. That went up a little bit.
Yeah. Tim said the same thing we were saying.
Yeah. And here's here we go. Marcus, Yesterday. Fatigue.
I get boring after repeated listens. Yeah, after the 1,000th listen, it does get a little bit old.
Another Girl is my number 9. James Bell says solid album track with great harmonies, etc., etc. McCartney playing lead guitar.
Yeah, he did play lead. Played a great lead on that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so now it's your turn.
What am I up to? What am I up to, Joe? You gotta help me.
Wait a minute. Are we doing it right? Number 9? What you say? You had 10. At 10, you had.
I've Just Seen a Face at 10.
Yeah. Okay, I did 9. As I've just seen.
So I'm up to 9. Okay.
9. All
right. This one, please, folks, don't hang me. But You've Got to Hide Your Love Away at number 9. Again, great song.
I still have the news handy from I'm a Loser.
Yeah. They're gonna take me out back and hang me after the show's over. But folks, other than Act Naturally, which I could take or leave, like Joe said, let me just say, disclaimer here, I love every song on this album. I like You've Got to Hide Your Love Away. I think the lyrics are interesting. It's one of John's deeper songs. The experimentation is continuing with this song. You got flutes on the solo. I mean, the Beatles are really experimenting on this album. John doing his Dylan, his best tribute or a homage to Bob Dylan on this song. It's a great song, folks, but there's just 8 other songs that float my boat a little better. So You've Got to Hide Your Love Away is number 9.
And that's what it comes down to, what floats your boat, so to speak. So we got all kinds of things here. I think Doc wants to hang you.
Oh, I like that, Doc. What does it say? Hangs Matt.
Another girl. It's getting hard. Oh, it is hard.
Sorry, Doc. I love you.
Let's see. What does Diego say here? You got to hide your love away a place lower, sadly. I don't like.
Okay.
Bang zoom.
Oh, power to the moon.
There is no right answer, of course, but what's the fun if we just go, okay?
I know, yeah, we're having a little fun. Okay, we love the Beatles. Yes,
it's just part of the fun. The fun playful debate. It's not a big thing. All right. So now before I get confused. So now I think we're doing number 8 here.
Number 8 for you, my friend.
Number 8, I went with Another Girl, which I've always really liked that song. not one of their most popular songs. I always liked Another Girl. I had it going into here at number 9, and I've just seen a face at 8. As we're doing this, I'm thinking, no, I like Another Girl better, I think, a little bit than I've just seen a face. We got Paul's lead guitar there, which is
Yeah.
great. I think Paul should have played lead, but when I say that gets me in trouble with the George people. I just love how effortlessly he can do it. George was great, but he seemed like he had to work at guitar work and solos more and plan them instead of like just on the fly kind of thing, or shredding, as they say. But yeah, that song opens up side 2, I believe, if it is, of this US version.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
And I always like the way that starts. Even that too, the way it starts the side off. It's perfect, It's a fun song. I love the sequence in the movie. Not that really.
It's a great sequence. Yeah.
With it. And speaking of the movie, that's the first movie song I have on here, I believe.
Oh, really? Okay.
Right. And did you pick a movie song? Oh,
mine was my number 9 was "Hide Your Love Away."
You gotta hide your love away. Yeah.
Yes, that was my first movie song, number 9.
All right. So Another Girl for me. And what about you, Matt? For number
All right.
8?
Well, I'm picking another movie song here, folks, for my number 8. Which one will it be? Well, it's You're Gonna Lose That Girl is my number 8. Now, I love this song, folks. To me, this song is the epitome of foundation, the roots of power pop. And you all know how much I love power pop, Raspberries, Cheap Trick, and all that stuff. This song is it. This was the song that laid that foundation. I love the call and response in this song. It's just a perfect pop tune. It's so simple and yet so perfect. And the solo is perfect, quick yet perfect. It's a great song. It's a flawless pop song, folks. I love You're Gonna Lose That Girl, but it's my number 8.
Matthew Smith says, no, number 3.
Sorry, Matthew.
Number 8 is I Need You for Neil.
Okay.
This Only Sleep has got You're Gonna Lose That Girl at 7. And okay.
All right, we're close on that. We're close on that.
Alex says
blasphemy.
Let's see. Jazzy Jimmy says the night before, Paul's Weak Sauce for Help. We'll see about that. And so on. All right. Very good. Very good. All right. So at number 7, we got to get some
7. We're into 7 already. Halfway through almost.
Yeah, we got to get people that are different than the two of us. Other than occasionally the odd I'm a loser or the odd gotta hide your love away, but we're not too far off. So I went with You're Going to Lose That Girl at number 7.
Oh, okay, we're close.
And I don't really have much to say about it. It's a really good song, but that's another one. When I was a child or whatever, I don't know, that was my favorite song. And that could have been number 1 if I was ranking this in the 70s or something. I might have ranked You're Going to Lose That Girl number 1 at once upon a time.
Right.
I really do think, and I try not to let it happen, that a lot of times I allow what I think something may be supposed to get during what I like it, how much I like it. I can't, and I really try to battle that all the time because some of it they coincide at times, and they're the same. The best is your favorite.
Right. Right. Yeah. Sometimes it matches up. It jives. Yep.
Strong song, great. Good pop song from John. End the story. For my pick, there's some more things here. You Gotta Hide Your Love Away, number 7. Another Girl at number 7.
We're close, Sam.
It's Only Love at number 7.
Okay.
You're Going to Lose That Girl.
Hey, Oliver, you were finally close with me a little bit.
And here we got Ticket to Ride. First mention of Ticket to Ride here.
Ooh, Diego, I don't know about that.
And so on. All right, so we're at number 7.
Number 7. Okay, again another one. I hope I don't get dragged outside and beaten and thrown away in the trash here. But now there's some songs when you're doing these rankings that the fatigue factor does not factor. It's just a beautiful song. It's a great song, and it deserves to be right up near the top. But sometimes fatigue factor can be a little bit hurtful on the rankings, I've found, as we've been doing this over the weeks. And my number 7 is Yesterday. Okay, folks? Should I put a shield up in front of me here?
Some people are going to have
The tomatoes flying in yet? Folks, I love this song. It's essentially Paul solo, as we know. Paul with his guitar. You got the string quartet. It's a Beatles standard. What is there? Is it up to like 2,000 or 3,000 covers of this song? It's like one of the most, if not the most covered song of all time. And just Paul on his own, essentially. First time I think ever a song recorded in the official canon of the Beatles catalog without more than one Beatle. I love it. It's a Beatles standard, but folks, there's a little bit of fatigue factor with this one for me. I tend to like to hear other versions of it now than the actual original because like I just got an instrumental album by Percy Faith, and I have a couple of others where they do instrumental versions of Yesterday and whatnot. And I don't know, those seem very pleasing to me, and the original just seems kind of tired, but again, love it. Joe, it's a great song, but it's just a little fatigue with it for me. The Beatles channel did it in for me.
Well, a lot of people were saying things like that in the comments. They can understand that. One guy said shame.
Oh, thanks.
But,
Thank you, Sam. Who said? What did they say?
Richard had said shame. I don't know about that.
Sorry, Rich.
And Marcus says, "You're generous, Matt. I had it at number 9."
Hey, Marcus. Thank you, Marcus.
And Matthew Smith. That's about right in the 5 to 7.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
So on and so on. So let's see what we got. Stephen Schnee. I didn't listen to Yesterday for maybe 20 years, but about 5 years ago, I reconnected with it again and love it again. He loves the James McCartney version just as much. And said,
hey, Steve. Yeah, that's a great version.
And Del Wood says, Yesterday is one of the greatest songs ever made. Fatigue or not, it has to be number 1 for me. Mono version is best. Yeah, the fatigue factor is tough, which is why.
Yeah. I try not to let it play in too much with my selections, but then I swear I just looked at what are the songs that I really would like to listen to right now. If I could put a song on, what one would I want to hear? And there's 6 others that I'd rather listen to right now than Yesterday.
Well, I was being charitable with it. I put Yesterday at number 6. Again,
okay, a little higher. Yeah,
put it in the top 5. I said no, I'm not going to put it in the top 5 because of fatigue factor. You see, that's the thing too. Had I just heard Yesterday for the first time in my life today, it could be 1 or 2, 3. But I'm like, I'm really tired of Yesterday. I really am tired of hearing it. And I think the fact that it goes number 6. I think it's being generous, I had to make a compromise somewhere. I mean, it's a great song. It's one of the best ever. It's Paul's most classic track, arguably most recognizable, most covered track. It's beautiful with the strings and everything. You could say so much about it. I always thought the song didn't really say that much. Gulp. Do I say that? It's not like it's a really, really deep, profound thing, but he does it in the song that he said something wrong. And that's cool. But I couldn't put it. I mean, I would almost want to hear any song on this album ahead of Yesterday. Just about, but that maybe not act natural.
That's great you mentioned that. That's like my exact feeling. What do I want to listen to right now?
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't bring myself to balancing the greatness. The classic deserves it, along with my feeling that wound up at number 6.
And I think that's why it falls there for a lot of people, somewhere right in the middle.
Put it at 14. I think I did. I mean, when I did my rankings before.
I would have loved to see the comments if one of us put it at 14.
Yeah. And here's, Alex says here, the scrolls moved when I'm trying to highlight one. If I hadn't heard it a million times, I'd probably rank Yesterday number 1.
Yeah, it's a classic song. It's great.
Didn't John say the same thing, that the song never resolved itself? I think so, but it doesn't have to necessarily. I'm not, Oliver says too fatigued, and he's very young. Oliver, he's fatigued with it already.
He's a young guy.
I've just seen a face at 6. We got Another Girl at 6. We've got The Night Before at 6. And Only Sleeping. I had yesterday.
Wow. Oh, Only Sleeping would have put it at 14. Wow.
1 point. And Doc is kind of with me or with us.
Yeah, he's with us. Hey, Doc, you take me off that hangman's noose. Take that off me. Get it off me.
All right. So I said, yeah. So now I'm getting mixed up when I do these because sometimes I usually go last. I'm trying to
Yeah,
remember.
yeah, yeah.
You
We're up to my
got
6 now, right? Yeah.
to give your 6.
My
Okay.
6. Okay, my 6 is a great song. I mean, we're getting now into the songs that I could listen to over and over and over again. It's Only Love. I'm sorry. The Night Before. I was looking at the wrong thing here. The Night Before is my number 6, folks. Again, electric piano. We got to mention that electric piano. It's all over this album. It's just a wonderful melody. I love the movie sequence, being out on the plains there with this song near the Stonehenge. It's just pop perfection. Such a well-written song. It just gets me every time. There's never fatigue factor with The Night Before for me. I just love it to death. And I just like those dreamy background vocals from George and John. I just love it. It's a great song. I just couldn't rank it higher because there's a few others that really get to me. But Night Before, number 6, Joe.
Okay, very good. I want to take a moment here to say I'm doing something different that people may or may not have noticed. I'm not wearing a headset, and the reason I usually wear the headset is because for me, the microphone helps keep out ambient noise from my neighbors and things. So far, so good. A lot of people have been telling me they like the sound better this way.
Right.
Everybody's got different setups. I don't know, but they say this sounds better. We got the vacuum cleaner going on there, so I apologize if that starts to come through like a buzzard or buzzsaw ahead of me. If it does, I can always switch into this. The beauty of live broadcasting. Just going to throw it in there before we get to the top 5.
Yeah.
But Night Before, number 2, or we're talking about Night Before.
Well, Dell had it higher than me. Yeah.
You had it much higher. I had The Night Before at 10, and it pains me as a piano player, Diego says.
Wow.
Well, it's just well, you heard The Night Before. What he's talking about is he's never heard.
He didn't hear the vacuum, I guess.
It's just starting, and I'm waiting for it to get to this room. It seems to be the other part of the house. If it gets above us, we'll have an issue. You Like Me Too Much, all the way at number 5.
Oh, pretty good, Oliver.
Good. Yesterday, great Paul song.
Yeah, sure is. Can't deny that.
So we go. All right, so let's see now. Next up, I will start the next one.
We got your number 5.
One of the songs in this album that I always loved, which again in my younger years could have been number 1 at some days, because that's how it is here. Us big Beatle fans, we say, on any given day this could change. But a lot of times when I was younger, this next song could be number 1.
Oh.
And now these days it's number 5. Got to be in the top 5. Got to give it George's due, and that's I Need You.
Number 5, George. Okay.
I've always loved that song. Not being a musician, I don't know what to say. The guitar parts, the repeats, dun, 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 whatever. Beatle Brad wasn't able to make it today, Jack. Let's see. But yeah, what can I say? It's an early song from George. I think it's one of his best. I think along with Don't Bother Me, this one.
Oh, yeah.
My favorite of the early songs by George that stand out to me.
It's funny because it seemed like he does Don't Bother Me, which is crackerjack top-notch writing, and it took him a long time to finally get to this album and start churning out some great tunes here. And he put 2 really good tunes. He contributed 2 tunes, I should say, to this album that are fantastic. But but you're right. You Like Me Too Much just isn't quite up to snuff as this one. Yeah,
and then good mention by Sam on the concert for George. Tom Petty, the Heartbreakers doing. I like. I mean, not Tom Petty's voice, not for everybody. I'm a fan. I like Tom Petty, and I love the way he sings that on that.
Now, Sam, you nailed that. I mean, Tom and George were such good friends, and when he lost George, it was just so painful for him. You can really hear it in his voice. Good call, Sam.
Yeah, so there you go, folks. And now to round up about the top 5, I should say.
Okay, my number 5 is, and I made a little slip earlier, so some of you might already know it, but my 5 is It's Only Love. I love this song. I've loved it from the moment I heard it as a kid on the U.S. Rubber Soul album, because I just love it. It's probably my favorite. I got to say it's in my top 3 on the U.S. Rubber Soul. I just love it. That George, that little tone pedal solo he plays on it, and it's just such a mellow yet catchy pop song. And I like the way John sings it, and that little, sneaky lyric he put in, "I get high when I see you go by." It somehow got past the censors, I guess, but just real kind of cheeky the way they put that in there. But I've always loved "It's Only Love." Bottom line is, it's a song that just makes me smile every time I hear it. It's so positive and uplifting, and I just love it. It's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's why I had to put it in my top 10.
Right.
I like it that much that I had to put it in my top 10. I couldn't put it outside the top 10. I might even like it better than I've Just Seen a Face, but see, things change not only day to day, hour to hour, minutes to minutes. So there you go. Okay, Tom Magnati, welcome. Love John's vocal on "It's Only Love." Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Tom, absolutely.
Yeah, I love
Hey,
the
Doc.
version too. The anthology.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Just a great melody.
Marcus feels bad at putting "It's Only Love" at 13.
Marcus, don't feel bad. We're all friends here.
"It's Only Love" is so number 14. The last track. Woo, very last track. Okay.
Interesting.
Glad to see someone has this song so high. It's only love. Yes,
thanks, Vern.
Okay, very good, very good. All right, let's move on here. Number 4.
We're getting to the nitty gritty now. We've only got 4 left.
Again, these songs again. Now, top 5 are hard for me. Now, when you get to the 4, again, the order is quite a task. I had to play with this a few times. I don't really know. And as I'm sitting here now, I'm like, no, this one for me should be even higher, but whatever. I put "You've Got to Hide Your Love Away" at number 4.
Oh, yeah. Quite a bit higher than I had it, but it's great.
I just love it. I love the Dylan influence, the way John's kind of sort of mimicking Dylan, the whole acoustic thing, and I love the sound of his voice on it. Somebody didn't care for the sound of his voice. I love the way he sings it. And he's really trying to sound a little Dylan-esque on it, and I think it's cool. And it's another one of those early first-person introspective kind of songs.
Right.
About I could see them laugh at me, and I hear them say, "You've got to hide your love away," all this kind of stuff. And how can I even try? I can never win. Hearing them, seeing them in the state I'm in.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I mean,
deep, interesting stuff. Yeah.
Kind of thing,
Yeah.
Don't really know who it's about. We have people said it was about Brian Epstein, or that people were thinking it was John kind of writing about Epstein. I don't know, but whatever it is, I love that song, and I really should have put it higher. But it's number 4 is not bad.
Number 4 is really good. Yeah.
So let's see, we got "You Got to Hide Your Love Away."
Hey, match.
Another girl. We got "Ticket to Ride." We got
Sam.
"Ticket to Ride" 4. "Hide Your Love Away" is number 3 for Only Sleeping.
Only Sleeping. Wow.
"Help" for Tim Allen. Don't shoot him.
Don't shoot me.
"You Got to Hide Your Love Away" for Jazzy Jimmy. Hello, Richard. I see Richard Sipanowski. How you doing down there? And then Alex says, personally, I think it's probably about Cynthia.
Good
So
call, maybe.
Ride for Matthew Turnage. "Ticket to Ride." Love Ringo's drums and John's vocals. Marcus says number 1. "You've Got to Hide Your Love Away."
Wow, pretty good, Marcus.
That bit in the film too. It's a nice part when they're in the house and everything, and Eleanor Braun, and was George Harrison, kind of like
with the faces he's making. Yeah, I love that. Oh, what Ringo sitting in the sunken bed,
just lazily pounding at. That's a strange person. We don't know what his function is.
Just a great. It's like a great freestanding video just on its own.
They've got some strange individual playing a flute, just hanging out.
Just hanging out, cutting the grass with teeth.
I don't know what these days. So anyway, there you go. You got to hard to love me.
Hey,
and now,
I had it at 9, but I'm not going to deny it's a beautiful song.
Pray tell, what do you have at number 4, Matthew?
Number 4, well, Tim Allen. I thought I saw a comment from Tim Allen. Tim, we're matching. And for one of the reasons Tim mentioned, Help. I have Help at number 4.
Holy.
I love the U.S. version, it might, if this was the U.S. version with the James Bond opening and you know, maybe I would have notched it up another level or two, but I miss that. I'm used to having that James Bond theme styled opening to the song, but it doesn't take away from the song itself. I think it's a classic Beatles song. It's a standard. Like we call Yesterday a standard. Help is a standard pretty much. The deep, meaningful lyrics. John's lyrics are fabulous. It's just, you get this deep song with the meaning to it wrapped up in this real fast-paced rocking tune that's so catchy. And to this day, it's a song that I don't get fatigued with it. Like, unlike Yesterday, when I hear Help come on like the Beatles channel, or it's, you know, on a CD or something I'm playing, I do not skip it. I love Help. But there's 3 other songs I like a little better. So Help is number 4 for me.
Yeah, I've been flashing a lot of the comments.
Oh, what have they been saying? I've been missing them here.
Right there with you.
Oh, okay, Marcus. Yeah.
The night before, we have it number 4.
Oh.
It reminds us that the single and album versions are different.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And let's see, what else can I find here? Oh, the James Bond opening.
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
Of course, you know, I mean, growing up in that's how I always think of it. I mean, I still like it without the. I mean, I can enjoy the intro. I'm sure.
Right.
Without the James Bond quote intro too, as well.
No, I agreed.
Let's see. I don't get that, Matt. Probably because I'm a Brit, James Bond. Tommy Morris says, "You're going to lose that girl." My second favorite song on the album.
Oh wow.
And Sam St. John agrees. Help doesn't have the fatigue of Yesterday.
Yeah, Sam. That's good.
Yeah.
Glad you see someone else.
Yeah, Help was a tough one for me. Anyway, let's go to number 3 now.
Top three.
Top 3. It might surprise people. I put Ticket to Ride at number 3.
Ooh, okay.
And I think the reason is, even though I try not to let fatigue factor kill it something for me. I think it's 3 because a little of the fatigue factor. I think if I just heard Ticket to Ride today for the first time, or 2 or 3 days ago, I'd say, well, that's great. It's a great song. It's one of the Beatles' best. I believe Paul on lead guitar again, I believe.
Yes, absolutely.
And so that's the only reason why. It's a Beatles classic. Ringo's great on the drums. What can you can't say anymore. These songs have been praised forever. There's not much you could say about it. I love it. It's just that I wasn't sure where to go with the song Help, actually, which I'll get to, because I haven't mentioned it yet.
Right.
So anyway, I put it at number 3.
Yeah, Ticket to Ride 3. That's a good showing. Good showing for Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, absolutely. David Jackson. No, number 1. 3 is not a bad spot at all.
Okay. My number 3.
What's your number 3, pray tell?
Okay. This is classic. Another song that's classic Beatles power pop. Again, the foundation of power pop. And I know people get tired of me saying that, but I love power pop. It's like the genre that's my passion in life. And this song, Another Girl, is another one like You're Going to Lose That Girl that just it started the genre in my book. It was the base for it. Catchy melody, got the hooks. It's got everything that good power pop needs. Catchy melody, good hooks, great lead guitar, just everything. The solo is grabs you right at the end when Paul's soloing right at the end of the song. It just leaves you with a good taste in your mouth. You're smiling with that lick he does right at the end of the song. I just
good end.
I love it. It's just a great song. Another Girl. I'm sorry. I know a lot of other people had it much lower, but for me, it's top 3, number 3 all the way. One last thing I just want to mention, the sequencing, and you mentioned it earlier, Joe, I think. The sequence in the movie with Another Girl probably has also helped sell it for me to get it up in the top 3. That is like a beautiful music video all by itself. That could be on MTV. Another Girl could have been on MTV back in the day and be one of the best videos ever made. It just that really the scenery and the ruins, and they're posing, and the girls are there with them in the bathing suits. It's perfect. Perfect. Number 3.
Complimented, and as I've said many times during these, there's always at least one time where I say I respect so much anytime something that's not usually you don't associate with the first 1, 2, or 3 songs or something is up there. I love that. I love hearing that. So that's I'm very impressed with that, and I
Yeah.
love that song. I really do. But let's
Oh,
see
it's great.
now. I might repeat some of these. I'm sorry, but let's see. You got to hide your love away at number
Boy, okay.
3. My wife loves the song. 3. You got to hide your love away. 3. You
Oliver.
got to hide your love away. Robert S says help is number 2. You got to hide your love away. Number 3. They could easily be switched.
Right, right.
Let's see what we got here. I know that Sophie another girl is my number 2.
Oh, well,
Nice.
all right. You're right up there with me.
Let's see. I miss the James Bond opening of Help on the UK reissues of the Red Album.
Right.
They
Oh,
put,
okay.
they put it on the American one anyway.
Yeah.
I know that on the 62 to 66. Number 3 is Yesterday for Jazzy Jimmy.
It is a classic, Jim. That's for sure.
Where does Ouch fit in?
Ouch is number 15.
Yeah.
We didn't do 15.
You know what? If we could do Ouch, I'll put that at 14 and put Act Naturally at 15. We could put that.
Poor Ringo.
All right. Yeah, very, very good. Very good. All right. Now number 2. Well,
Top 2, folks.
it's a song that I love. And you know, I it's so hard for these things because in a way it is my favorite song on the album now. But I'm putting it 2 instead of 1. How does that work? You know?
I don't know. How does that work?
But I don't know how it's working. Something tells me no, it's got to be number 2, and this other one's got to be 1. In this case, I don't know why. It's The Night Before.
Ah.
Oh God, I love that song. I don't know
Right.
about it. I love it. I love the way Paul's voice sounds on it. It's double tracked, but he does something with his voice. Everybody, hold your ears. You know, we said goodbye. He does something.
Yeah.
I really love that, and I love the harmonies, singing along The Night Before, and so on. Okay. I love it. Of course,
it's great.
The is it the organ, the piano, the organ, which I think
The electric piano,
piano. I don't know. Does John play that? I don't even know.
I think on the recording, John's doing the electric piano. I could be wrong. Correct me, folks, but I believe it's
and now you see, Sophie says The Night Before is my number 1 even.
Wow. Nice.
There we go. Tom Agnotti, it's auto-tune. That's why.
Auto-tune.
That's what I like about it. It's the auto-tune.
Yeah, it's the auto-tune.
So you'll know my obvious one after all this, but I'm saying, it's like, I mean, this song, it's even the song that I thought of when I did my contest a while ago. People had to think what song, what of all the
that was
and that was the one. I love that song, and I don't know what it is, but
now is that a song even when you were a little kid and getting into Help? Did you like it then?
I like that a lot. Yeah. So anyway, The Night Before, number 2, and what about you?
My number 2 is To the Quiet One. Tribute to the Quiet One. I Need You by George Harrison is my number 2. To me, I know it's a lot of people think it's just a simple, basic pop song, but to me, it's always been one of my favorite George Harrison Beatles songs. I think it's one of his finest in my book, personally. The great harmony, the pleasant background vocals to it, dreamlike. George using that tone control pedal again, experimenting with it. Again, the experimentation on this album. I think he also used it on Yes It Is as well, the same tone pedal. But it's just a beautiful song. I love I Need You. Simple, I know, not as deep as some of the other songs on this album, but and again, we go back to that sequence on Salisbury Plain when George sings it. It just has always struck me from when I was a young child seeing that movie and that image of the Beatles, performing these songs in the movie. And that one always struck me, George having his moment in the sun and shining. And it's always a song I will never get tired of. I love it. One of my favorites.
It seemed like it was pretty cold when they were filming that too.
Yeah.
Ringo at one point really shivered on the drums.
Yeah, you can almost see it. yeah.
During that song. Very good, very good, very good. All right, so let's see what else we got here. 2, Ticket to Ride, Levin called it.
Oh, okay.
Heavy metal record.
Heavy metal, yeah.
Number 2 for Ticket to Ride. Sophie is apparently a Paul fan. I I'll put this again. Tim Allen won the contest because of
Oh,
the.
that's right. He was the winner.
He read my mind with that song. I Need You is my favorite scene in the film, Sam St. John says.
Ah, nice.
For me, two is I've Just Seen a Face. Really like Paul's acoustic songs.
Yeah.
Tom Petty's version of I Need You on Concert for George is great.
Yeah, Sam St. John mentioned that earlier. That's a great version.
Perfect pop song, but you're going to lose that girl's even better perfect pop song.
Yeah, they're great.
Is that George singing to Maureen? Oh boy.
I'm not going there.
Maybe that was like a couple of years later. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All righty. So yeah, very good, very good. And well, what can I say for me as far as number one goes? I don't have anything really to say about it. It's
I
Help.
think we know.
I really hate the most obvious song that comes number one for me or something. And not always, but it's happened a few times. Yeah, again, that definitely has a fatigue factor. I won't kid you, but it is one of the very first songs that I ever loved when I was a kid. And my mom remembers that and everything, and it is a favorite. And again, it's John kind of venting his feelings. He said he really meant to help, when he was crying for help. But they put it into a poppy song. It was going to be much slower originally, the way he had it envisioned, and they made a pop song out of it, which was a great pop song, and it fits the movie, the movie Help.
Yeah.
Because they're in trouble and everything. So yeah, Help is a classic. I don't know. Maybe come back here in a week or two, and I'll have the night before ahead of it.
You're gonna jack it up a little.
To ride, I don't know, but I went with Help for this broadcast.
And yeah, I love your story about when you were a little kid, and I love even your banner has a picture of you holding the Help album.
Yeah,
I think that's so cool. I love that image.
Yeah, how old I am.
Yeah, just a little guy there, and I mean, if that doesn't say it all, how much you love that song, or the album and that song.
Yeah. All right. Well, go for it.
Okay. Well, if anyone's been following along and doing a little checklist here, my number one. But folks, this is just a song. I know some people mentioned earlier about favorite sequences in the movie, and this song at the Salisbury Plain or on the beach for Another Girl. But the scene with this song, when I was a little kid, my parents took me to see Help. And this scene just struck me. I don't know what it was about that 4 or 5-year-old kid I was, but it's Ticket to Ride. When they were, and I'm going to talk about how much I love the song, but that scene in the snow up in the Swiss Alps with them falling all over the place and playing with snowmen and, Ringo punching the snowman out and all that stuff. It's just such a fun scene, such a fun self-standing video by itself out there in the snow, the Beatles goofing around. And that song's the soundtrack to it. It's been a long time fave of mine. Again, one of those songs that no fatigue factor for me. Every time it comes on, I turn the radio up, turn the stereo up. Number one smash hit. Everyone loves it. It's so unique in every way. And Joe, you mentioned some of the stuff earlier, like Ringo's drums. They're just such unique drumming on it. It's just, and for that time, 1965, for a band to record a song like this, I think it was just way ahead of its time. The drums, the beat, the melody, like someone mentioned earlier, John said it was the first ever heavy metal song. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but it's definitely a heavy tune. Heavy for that time. So catchy. The vocals are stellar all around. The lead vocals, the background vocals. It just, Ticket to Ride. It's got to be my number one. I just love it so much.
Maybe you really got me is the first heavy metal song by the Kinks.
Could be,
yeah. Happy to hear that. Either that or Helter Skelter, one or the other. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to try to get some comments, but I want to go up a little bit here. Oh, hold on, folks. Give me a moment here.
Yeah, mine, the comment writing is small on the side here, but I can see it. There we go. Leonard went with you. Hey, George. George went with me.
It's a ride for David Jackson. J.D. Thompson, the night before is my number one, too.
That's a great one.
Number one has to be Help. Ticket to Ride, best song on the album, Robert S. It says yesterday, number one. For clear.
Yesterday. Okay. Yeah. Great.
And then Richard says, I really refuse to count the fatigue effect. This song has such a lovely feeling atmosphere. My number one has to be yesterday.
Oh, classic. Classic.
Even without the Bond opening, Doc's picks help.
He got help. Number one, huh?
The night before, Tim Allen. This is a perfect Beatles recording. The Fab Five. What amazing team. Yes, Fab Five.
Yeah.
Help. Nothing else could go there. Oh, yes, it could.
All right. Okay.
Yesterday, I'll never get tired of it. We got number one, Help for Brian.
A lot of people love that Help in the number one spot.
I had Help at number 4. There you go. Mark.
Could have been higher. Yeah.
Could have been higher. I Need You at number 1 for Sam St. John.
Hey, we were close on that one, Sam.
Has number 1. We'll be going forever. Vern has It's Only Love.
Oh, It's Only Love. I love that.
Yesterday.
Ultimate Standard. Yeah.
And James Bell, Harder and Heavy Red to the Beatles sound.
Hey, James.
Ticket to Ride. Yes, indeed.
Oh, yeah, that drum pattern. Oh,
boy.
Coming in fast and furious. Wow, good stuff.
Yeah. I don't like Tell Me What You See, and You Like Me Too Much.
Yeah, I had those down there a little bit.
Bad Boy would have been great on this album. Well, we have another one. Farrell McNulty says you're going to
lose that girl. Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah, well,
can't argue with any of these picks, folks. Unless you put like Act Naturally at 1, then maybe I would have questioned you.
Yeah, I don't think anybody did that actually. But anyway, yeah, there it goes. Another fun one,
Yeah, that was a good one.
And a good time was had by all, I'm sure. Join us for the next one when we're going to do Rubber Soul, the UK version.
UK Rubber Soul, which is
Rubber Soul. I just wanted to give a little plug here for my other show that I do, Talk More Talk. We have another show tomorrow on Talk More Talk. You can get it live if you go over to Facebook under the Talk More Talk page. And the subject, the reason I'm mentioning it especially here is because I'm going to be moderating this week's show.
Oh, you're the moderator. Cool.
Turns, and I'm going to be moderating it, and we're going to actually kind of do our first ranking show over there. It's funny because this thing really started getting steam rolling by Tom Hunyadi and Andy Nichols doing the Paul McCartney albums over there on Two Legs. If you want to go over to YouTube on the Two Legs site, they're doing the Paul McCartney albums.
And that's a great channel. I love Two Legs. Those guys are awesome.
Yeah. And it's a lot of fun over there too. And they did it. And then I said, well, I wanted to do this FaB show anyway, but I decided to start out with rankings. It's going to be other things too, but we'll start out with rankings. Anyway, so Talk More Talk, we decided let's do a ranking show. But what album do we do? And it turned out to be Cloud 9.
Oh, awesome. That's going to be great.
Try that, There's a bunch of albums we could have done. I figured, we all figured maybe save the Paul albums for Tom and Andy to do on Two Legs.
Right.
And so on. And it's a good album to do that. So you can join us over there. It'll be tomorrow, Monday night, the 8th at 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's live, but that's Facebook. But the thing is, if you don't know, you can subscribe on YouTube here, the Talk More Talk channel here. And you can subscribe on YouTube, and all of the shows that we do become videos. Even if you missed a live one, you can watch the video playback here. So please subscribe up there. And we have a lot of recent interesting topics that have been up lately on Talk More Talk that I've been meaning to promote that I haven't promoted. So please go over there and check those out and see what you think. Show. All right. So anyway,
and let me say, I'm one of those people, folks. I don't get Facebook. I'm a dinosaur. I don't have Facebook, and I always catch Talk More Talk after it's posted right away. And let me just reiterate: as a fan, it's a wonderful show. I just love it. You got 4 great people over there that do a fantastic job, and I try never to miss an episode. And I'm really looking forward to this one, Joe, because Cloud 9 is one of my favorite, probably my top 2 George albums of all time.
Yeah, and eventually we'll get to it here, but by that time I may have changed my votes.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, anything else? Anything going on that you wanted to talk about or anything?
No, I mean, someone just mentioned, I just could see it. They said, what are our opinions on the film? I love the film. I don't know about you. I think Joe does too, from what I've seen of watching his channel all these years.
A lot of times, if I'm going to watch a Beatles movie, that's the one I go for. It's probably my personal favorite one. And then I think that Hard Day's Night is maybe slightly cinematically better. But I mean, both, very good movies, great movies.
For a fun movie to sit down and watch, for me, it's Help, folks. I mean, I love Hard Day's Night, but like I have a little 5-year-old grandson. He's going to be 6 really soon. And I told him very soon that we're going to sit down and watch Help together and have some fun with it because he likes the Beatles. Of course, I'm getting him into the Beatles. But yeah, Helps. I'm not going to go to Hard Day's Night with him. I'm going to go to Help. It's more fun, more colorful, exciting.
You have to show them that one first. I mean,
it's more cartoonish.
When they were small, I have 2 nephews and a niece, and they all watched Help and they loved it. And to this day,
that's good to know because I'm looking forward to watching it with him. So
they have to have certain memories, childhood, like we had, warm memories to that movie. Now one of them's 30, one of them is
gee. Is that is one of them your nephew Alex there? The one who's in your videos?
He's the youngest one. And to this day, like just gives the memories of their childhood and hanging out with Uncle Joe. So they love that movie still. And it works better, I think, for these days for younger, newer audiences. So everybody, thank you so much.
Oh, one thing I should mention, someone just asked Joe about, are we going to pick a time now, or do you want to wait and we'll post our promos about next week's show?
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about next week. I don't know. Next week, how are you? I mean, I'm all right at the same time next week, but are you? That's a question.
Yeah, I mean, got my little schedule book here, folks.
I'm on the spot here. That's why I was going to
No, that's fine. So let's see. So I'm free next Sunday.
Okay.
I'm looking at my schedule here, Joe, so if you want to go for Sunday, same time for tentatively, we'll say next Sunday at 2.
All right, so it looks like next Sunday, unless something changes, we'll let you know. But it looks like we're telling you already in advance that next Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern time, the same time as this. We'll be doing the show.
If something changes, we'll let you know.
Yeah, we'll let you know. So, everybody, thank you so much for your comments. Thank you for participating. And tell all your friends about FaB GaB. All right? This is Joe Mayo signing off for my friend Matthew Street. And we'll see you all soon.
Adios.
Our regular channel.
Adios.
Week. Later.